retired. Not long, however, after Zarathustra had gone away from the magician, he again saw somebody sitting by the side of his path. A tall man in black, with a gaunt, pale face. And this man displeased him exceedingly. Alas, he said to his heart, there sits muffled up melancholy, looking like the tribe of priests. What do they want in my realm? How now? I have scarcely escaped that magician. Must another black artist cross my way so soon? Some wizard with laying on of hands? Some dark miracle worker by the grace of God? Some anointed world slanderer whom the devil should fetch? But the devil is never where he should be. He always comes too late, this damned dwarf and clubfoot. Thus cursed Zarathustra, impatient in his heart, and he wondered how he might sneak past the black man, looking the other way. But behold, it happened otherwise, for at the same moment the seated man had already spotted him, and not unlike one on whom unexpected good fortune has been thrust, he jumped up and walked toward Zarathustra. Whomever you may be, you wanderer, he said, help one who has lost his way. A seeker, an old man who might easily come to grief here. This region is remote and strange to me, and I have heard wild animals howling, and he who might have offered me some protection no longer exists himself. I sought the last pious man, a saint and a hermit, who, alone in this forest, had not yet heard what all the world knows today. What does all the world know today? Asked Zarathustra. Perhaps this, that the old God in whom all the world once believed no longer lives. As you say, replied the old man sadly, and I served that old God until his last hour, but now I am retired, without a master, and yet not free, nor ever cheerful, except in my memories. That is why I climbed these mountains, that I might again have a festival at last, as is fitting for an old pope and church father. For behold, I am the last pope, a festival of pious memories and divine services, but now he himself is dead, the most pious man, that saint in the forest, who constantly praised his God with singing and humming. I did not find him when I found his cave, but there were 2 wolves inside, howling over his death. For all animals loved him, so I ran away. Had I then come to these woods and mountains in vain, then my heart decided that I should seek another man, the most pious of all, those who do not believe in God, that I should seek Zarathustra. Thus spoke the old man, and he looked with sharp eyes at the man standing before him. But Zarathustra seized the hand of the old pope and long contemplated it with admiration. Behold, venerable one, he said then, what a beautiful long hand. That is the hand of one who has always dispensed blessings, but now it holds him who you seek, me, Zarathustra. It is I, the godless Zarathustra, who speaks, who is more godless than I, that I may enjoy his instruction? Thus spoke Zarathustra, and with his glances he pierced the thoughts and the thoughts behind the thoughts of the old Pope. At last the Pope began, "He who loved and possessed him most has also lost him most now. Behold, now I myself am probably the more godless of the two of us, but who could rejoice in that?" "You served him to the last?" Zarathustra asked, thoughtfully, after a long silence. "You know how he died. Is it true what they say, that pity strangled him? That he saw how man hung on the cross, and that he could not bear it? That love of man became his hell, and in the end, his death?" The old Pope, however, did not answer, but looked aside, shy, with a pained and gloomy expression. "Let him go," Zarathustra said after prolonged reflection. Still looking the old man straight in the eyes. "Let him go. He is gone. And although it does you credit that you say only good things about him who is now dead, you know as well as I who he was, and that his ways were queer. Speaking in confidence of 3 eyes, the old Pope said cheerfully, for he was blind in one eye. In what pertains to God, I am, and have the right to be, more enlightened than Zarathustra himself. My love served him many years. My will followed his will in everything. A good servant, however, knows everything, including even things that his master conceals from himself. He was a concealed god, addicted to secrecy. Verily, even a son he got himself in a sneaky way. At the door of his faith stands adultery. Whoever praises him as a god of love does not have a high enough opinion of love itself. Did this god not want to be a judge too? But the lover loves beyond reward and retribution. When he was young, this god out of the Orient, he was harsh and vengeful, and he built himself a hell to amuse his favorites. Eventually, however, he became old and soft and mellow and pitying, more like a grandfather than a father, but most like a shaky old grandmother. Then he sat in his nook by the hearth, wilted, grieving over his weak legs, weary of the world, weary of willing, and one day he choked on his all too great pity. You old Pope, Zarathustra interrupted at this point. Did you see that with your own eyes? Surely it might have happened that way. That way, and also in some other way. When gods die, they always die. Several kinds of death. But, well then, this way or that, this way and that. He is gone. He offended the taste of my ears and eyes. I do not want to say anything worse about him now that he is dead. I love all that looks bright and speaks honestly, but he, you know it, you old priest, there was something of your manner about him, of the priest's manner. He was equivocal. He was also indistinct. How angry he got with us, this wrath snorter, because we understood him badly. But why did he not speak more cleanly? And if it was the fault of our ears, why did he give us ears that heard him badly? If there was mud in our ears, well, who put it there? He bungled too much, this potter, who had never finished his apprenticeship, but that he wreaked revenge on his pots and creations for having bungled them himself, that was a sin against good taste. There is good taste in piety too, and it was this that said in the end, away with such a God. Rather no God. Rather make destiny one's own. Rather be a fool. Rather be a god one's self. What is this I hear? Said the old Pope at this point, pricking up his ears. Oh, Zarathustra, with such disbelief you are more pious than you believe. Some god in you must have converted you to your godlessness. Is it not your piety itself that no longer lets you believe in a god? And your overgreat honesty will yet lead you beyond good and evil, too. Behold, what remains to you? You have eyes and hands and mouth, predestined for blessing from all eternity. One does not bless with the hand alone. Near you, although you want to be the most godless, I sent a sacred, pleasant scent of long blessings. It gives me gladness and grief. Let me be your guest, O Zarathustra, for one single night. Nowhere on earth shall I now feel better than with you. Amen. So be it, said Zarathustra, in great astonishment. Up there goes the way. There lies Zarathustra's cave. I should indeed like to accompany you there myself, you venerable one, for I love all who are pious. But now a cry of distress urgently calls me away from you. In my realm no one shall come to grief. My cave is a good haven, and I wish that I could put everyone who is sad back on firm land and firm legs. But who could take your melancholy off your shoulders? For that I am too weak. Verily, we might wait long before someone awakens your god again. For this old god lives no more. He is thoroughly dead. Thus spoke Zarathustra.